Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, last night violence in the politics of the Federation raised its ugly head. Some of our very innocence was lost when thugs, who we believe were operating in the name of the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party, threw stones at the end of a very successful political meeting in Old Road. Some huge boulders were thrown in our direction as hundreds of innocent people stood in the streets, basking in the glory of that successful political meeting. Our deputy political leader, Mr. Eugene Hamilton, was struck in the face and subsequently had to be rushed to hospital. The dramatic photo of him bleeding profusely has already made its round. One car was also damaged. We believe that the entire leadership of the People's Action Movement was targeted last night. There have been increasing signs in the last few days that because of the growing momentum we have been gaining, panic has set in among some of Labour's leadership and a small band of fanatic followers. This manifested itself in the widely reported behavior of the Prime Minister on Wednesday, and then again this incident last night. The developments of the last few days have strengthened our resolve to continue to struggle for the change this country richly deserves and desires. The thuggery that has consumed our youth and killed our children in this past murderous year is threatening to seep into the political mainstream. Political leaders who use hate language to incite on their platforms, as we witnessed last Sunday, are as guilty as their misguided followers who will panic at the sight of our people uniting for change. But for those, there is only a minority. For us in the majority, we have an historic opportunity to save our country from barbarism and thuggery. This is St. Kitts, and we would not allow it to slide into a miniature version of Zimbabwe, where opposition supporters are threatened and beaten. Our nation is being pushed to the brink, and every patriotic Kittian and Nevisian, not just supporters of our party, must stand up and be counted at a time when our country needs us most. We call on members of civil society, the churches, and other political parties to join with us in this common purpose of saving our country. We call on Prime Minister Denzel Douglas to immediately condemn last night's violence and make it clear in a public statement to his supporters that neither he nor the Labour Party condones such behavior. For him to stay silent is for him to endorse what happened last night. For a second successive day, we call on the Prime Minister to also make a public commitment to join us in signing a code of good conduct which will govern everybody's behavior in the upcoming general election campaign. We know the stakes are high, and we know that people do not concede power without a fight. But now, more than ever, we must appeal to our better angels, and we must all put country above self. Members of the People's Action Movement, like all other citizens of St. Kitts-Nevis, deserve the security to conduct legal political activities. The Minister of National Security is directly responsible for the security of all of us. And should any harm befall any of us, we would hold him directly responsible. We serve him notice that the resources of the state must be put at helping to keep our political activities safe, in the same way it is put at the disposal of the ruling party. To do anything less will be tantamount to a license to our opponents and their followers to disrupt our meetings and make life difficult. Last night was a defining moment when we as a nation put behind us the 10 man in one and bad since may born concepts of political engagement. We need to adopt, like tempo, the attitude of badness out of style. The thugs who sought to disrupt our meeting last night must be clear about our collective resolve to continue to push for the change this country deserves. The thugs last night are cowards. We will not be bullied. We will not be intimidated. We are more determined now than ever to rally the people and to bring our communities together. On the other hand, we caution our supporters. We caution our friends. We caution our well-wishers not to fall into the temptation to respond to violence with violence. But we are determined and will wage a peaceful campaign, and we will use every non-violent means to beat back the forces of reaction and desperation. We seek your collective prayers for the peace and safety and security of this federation. I thank you very much.